cheers to another episode of the Weinnotes Podcast. I'm your guide, AJ Weinzettel, on this journey of stories showcasing the people behind the wonderful world of wine, where we dive into conversations ranging from terroir, viticulture, to favorite music, superpowers, and more. Please enjoy this episode of the Weinnotes Podcast. Dave, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure to be here, AJ. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. I have to go back to like March 2021.
Okay.
You and I had like a 30-minute conversation. You told me all sorts of little stories. You invited me to come out.
That's before I knew who you were and what you did. Yeah.
And finally, like, here we are 3.5 years later, finally getting to sit down to tell some stories. So I appreciate it.
Oh, cool.
So I start us off with a little bit of a blind wine?
Sure.
Okay. I tell everybody, you can say whatever you want to. You can say it's yummy. You can say it's yuck. You can stay silent, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
All right. I always try to find some sort of connection. I think I did a decent connection on this wine. But you never know. I might mess up a little bit, but I think it's a decent enough connection.
It's got a yummy nose, that's for sure. Nice floral, dark fruit.
And I would have brought like a Chardonnay or something, but I didn't have a connection white wine for you in my cellar, so I had to go with the Pinot.
Okay. Good job.
It's been a while since I've had this wine.
Okay.
So I'm going to start off with a little bit of story from myself in the car world.
Okay. I'm going back in time.
A little bit.
All right.
So about 16 years ago, I was 100% into tech. And I had this great idea to sell, to create a software platform for used car dealers. And, the basic gist of the software platform was to create a website for car dealers to sell their cars, but then to also aggregate that data to cars.com, Auto Trader, Craigslist and whatnot. And, I didn't think too much about my target audience at that time when I created the software. And I have to tell you, I had the hardest time trying to sell to used car salesmen. That was quite a lesson to learn. So anyway.
Different breed of cat for sure.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And you had a decision in your life where you had the ability to leave the car industry or to get into it.
Correct.
If you weren't going to get into the car industry way back when, what were you going to do?
Well, I would have probably sold my interests in the dealerships I was involved with and done exactly what I'm doing now.
Okay.
Wine's been my passion, since, I'm going to say 1975 was when I first drank my first wonderful bottle of wine that set light bulbs going off in my head and got me interested to a point where I not only wanted to drink it, but wanted to learn about it, understand it. And,
right.
And it's been a long journey getting here for me because I want to do it right. I didn't want to cut any corners. I wanted to do things in such a fashion that I'd never have any regrets or never have to make any apologies for what I was doing. And to do that, it requires... in my mind, I really wanted my own estate. I wanted to have estate fruit. I wanted to have my own production facility where I could control what happened in the winery, which we're very, very low intervention winemakers, and I want to keep it that way. And I guess have complete control over everything from soup to nuts.
Right.
Because I had certain ideas on what I wanted to do. Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are two of my favorite wines. So here I'm living in, next to the Willamette Valley. And it just seemed like a natural transition. So in 2005, I had done pretty much everything you could do in the car industry, and I was working at a Honda store in Beaverton, and I was the general manager of that and a few other stores for Bob Lamphere, who was my partner at the time, and actually Bob Jr. and I still partners in a couple buildings that we own down in Wilsonville. But I kind of had this idea that I was either going to change the car business or get out of it, because I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. My employees weren't happy doing what they were doing, and my customers weren't happy. And if there's one thing I've learned about business over the long term is if you listen to your employees and you listen to your customers, you're probably going to make some really good decisions.
Right.
And they were all telling me the same thing. They hated the wait. They hated bouncing around from the junior salesman to the senior salesman to the closer to the sales manager, and then if you do get lucky enough to make a deal with all those guys, then you sit for a couple hours, and now they introduce you to the finance manager, and it was a full day process to go buy a car, and they hated that. They didn't like all the there were a lot of untruths involved in the car business, depending on where you went. And when you tried to be truthful, a lot of customers resented that because they had heard things that were more appealing to them, but it never ended up working out that way.
Right.
So I decided to try and revolutionize the car business, and just kind of sitting on my own with my assistant, her name is Carrie Kelly. She now is a general manager of a Toyota store in Albany. We sat down and created this whole sales process based on everything I'd heard from my employees, from my customers. I mean, they hated the wait, they hated the bouncing around. I had taken a class at Harvard Business School, and the one thing that really stuck with me is the best way to increase customer satisfaction in any business is to reduce the number of people that they interface with. And in the car business, you were bounced around from one person to another back then. So we came up with this process. So I said, okay, who are these junior salesmen, senior salesmen? They're just salesmen. This guy's untrained. This guy's a little bit trained. This guy's probably trained him properly, and he's the closer. He's going to come and tell you anything he can tell you to get you to say yes and sign on the dotted line. And then you go to a finance manager who's only paid on aftermarket products that some are appropriate for some people and some aren't, but they're pushing every single one of them real hard because that's their paycheck. And then they were paying all these salespeople a percentage of the profit that was made on the cars. So what ended up happening is you have a salesperson who's paid by how much they can sell the car for, and you have a customer, and their job is to buy it for as little as possible. And it was instant headbanging from the minute they walked in the door. Right. It was confrontational, totally confrontational, and everybody was uncomfortable with the product, the employees and the customers. So I said, who are all these people, and what can I do to make it different? I said, well, why don't I just hire smart people from any other industry other than the car business, because I didn't want any of the old habits or techniques brought into our dealership. And I'll just train one person to do the whole process from beginning to end. And then people hated the back and forth negotiation too. So I said, all right, I'll do market research once a week. I'll find out what everybody's selling every car for. And with the internet, it became easier to do that than ever before. I'll just put the best price that I'll sell every car for right on the car, so they don't even have to ask what our best price is, and it'll be real competitive. So the idea was I'll make less per car that we sell, but hopefully over time we'll sell a lot of cars and make up for it that way. So I started doing this in the internet at our Honda store. And I noticed a couple things. One, they were getting customers in and out in no time.
Right.
And these 3 salespeople that I had in the internet department had the highest customer satisfaction ratings of any Honda salesperson in the district and in the region. And our customers were sending referrals, so their referral and repeat business was higher than the rest of the store. So I started thinking, okay, people like this, they're dealing with one person, they're getting our best price up front, and that was kind of our experiment. And it took off, and our internet department really grew. It grew to a point where in the car industry, Toyota stores outsell Honda stores by a ton in every market. And it's because Toyota had at that time a complete truck line, and still do, and cars. And Honda was pretty much focused on cars and small SUVs at the time. And so they had a much bigger profit. But we were beating not only our facing Toyota dealer, we were beating our facing Toyota dealer and the next one over too. So in Beaverton, we're beating the Beaverton and Hillsborough stores put together.
Right.
And which was driving Toyota nuts. They couldn't figure it out. They've never seen that before. So one day I'm sitting in my office and the receptionist calls and says, hey, there's these 3 guys out here that want to see you. They're in suits. And I was like,
uh-oh.
Really? I said, the IRS or what are they looking for? They go, no, their card says Toyota on it. I said, oh, really? I said, send it back. So they walked in and said, hey, and they told me the story, you're out selling our 2 Toyota stores put together. It never happens anywhere in the country. We want to know what you're doing. We figured we're getting real tired of you kicking our butt, so we would rather join you than try and fight with you over this. And we're going to open up a new Toyota store in Wilsonville, Oregon, which at the time the city had not really grown out there yet. And
right.
It was kind of a shot in the dark. And then they gave us the requirements on what they wanted to build and how much property and all that. It was a very expensive proposition. So I said, yeah, I'll be happy to apply. And they said, oh, great. And I was all excited, and I'm thinking, we're going to get a Toyota store. And then I found out there were 224 other dealers that had applied, because this was the first new Toyota store in the Pacific Northwest in 18 years.
Wow. And
Toyota stores are, they're a nice franchise to have, and all the other Toyota dealers in the country have the opportunity to apply for them. So they applied for them, I applied for them. And you go in front of these different groups and you have meetings. In the first meeting, they go from 225 down to 50, and then 50 down to 25. And when we got down to the 25, I walked in to this room full of Toyota executives, and the head guy walks up to me, and his name was Dave Dupree, and he says, Dave, we're really glad you're here. We like what you're doing at that Honda store you're running, and I just want you to know that we prefer to give new stores to existing Toyota dealers. And there's the other 49 guys, or the other 24 guys that we're talking to. That was the last one. The other 24 guys we're talking to are all Toyota dealers. But go ahead and tell us what you think. So it's like, okay, here's like the biggest presentation of my life, and this guy's telling me, "We're glad you're here, but," and so I just said, what the hell, I'm going to just go for it and tell them what I really think. And I walked up and I said, hey, the retail car experience is horrible. Your customers hate it, my employees hate it, and I hate it. And I said, if I don't get an opportunity with a manufacturer to do what I want to do, I'm going to retire from the car business, because it's no fun. I'm not having fun. Customers aren't having fun. Employees aren't having any fun. And I don't like the way the business is going now. And they said, well, what are you going to do about it? So I said, glad you asked. And Carrie, my assistant, she had boxes of handouts that we had put together over time. And I had anticipated all the questions that they might have over going from a traditional sales experience to this one person, one price situation that I wanted to do. And they started asking questions. How you can do that in service? I said, great, got a handout about that. What do you think about parts? Well, I got a handout for that too. What about used cars? Hey, well, got a handout. And we'd go over the handout. And after a while, it was, they just started laughing. They'd ask a question, go, bet you got a handout. I go, sure enough. Hey, give me a handout. So we'd hand out to everybody and talk about how we were going to deal with just one person, and how I'd train them, and why we don't need a finance department and finance managers, why we didn't need closers, all that kind of thing. And what I did not know was, even though they preferred to use Toyota dealers, they were dying for an alternative to the retail sales experience that everybody was not happy with. I mean, they survey the heck out of their customers, and they know people aren't happy with it. So we ended up getting the Wilsonville Toyota store, and it was similar to the Vineyard. Both of them were just big blackberry fields when I bought them, and we put that Toyota store down there, and we executed the one person, one price. I hired all these people, from police officers and teachers and preachers. I mean, from all these different walks of life. So it was a really neat group of people, and a lot of fun too. And they were all nice people, and they were all smart people. Right. So I taught them how to do the whole deal, how to manage their own deal, how to do the finance. We made charts. If your credit score is here, here's what your interest rate's going to be, and which drove other dealers nuts, because they would mark up the interest rates and keep the profit on that. And we just didn't do that. So I was really banking on us selling a lot of cars to make up for the diminishment in profit that we were making per car. So it worked pretty well. In the second year that we were open, we were the #1 dealer of all brands in the state of Oregon. So people were telling their friends, their coworkers, customers were so excited to have an alternative that they were sending all their people there, and we had the highest repeat and referral rate on the West Coast for Toyota. We were #1 volume dealer in the state, and things were rocking along real well. And the manufacturers all share their numbers. And one day I'm in my office at Toyota, and the Subaru guys walk in, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" I said, "Well, come on, I'll show you." They're like, "Your numbers are insane. You're selling all this volume. You got super high customer satisfaction. You're repeating referrals through the roof. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, come on, I'll show you. This guy's just starting a deal right down here." And they watched the deal go all the way through, and they go, "That was a setup. You don't really do that. It's not that friendly. It's not that easy." And I was well, not only is that friendly and that easy, but they'll be out of here in under an hour and a half. And from the time they walked in the door, and they go, "Oh, no way." And I was like, "Yeah." So they watched, and they come upstairs to my office, and Jason was the gentleman's name, and Jason looks at me and he goes, "We're going to open up a point in Wilsonville." I go, "Are you going to have 225 applicants?" And they go, "Hopefully not, because we just like you to do it." And manufacturers never do that. Wow. They always have an open call, and because all their dealers get really upset, and a lot of them got upset about them just giving me the franchise, but they really wanted to enhance their retail experience as well, and they loved what we were doing, and they were hoping we'd bring that to Subaru. So we built the biggest Subaru store in the world, 91,000 square feet. Because in Wilsonville, they had some whacked out law about how you have to have all your cars for display indoors, not outdoors, which makes 0 sense, but it was on the books and they wouldn't change it. So we built this giant Subaru store, and we immediately took off, and that store's still doing great, both of them to this day. So how does that relate to wine, right? So I don't like to do things second best. So we're sitting in our tasting room right now. It's not the biggest, but it's exactly what I had kind of foreseen. I wanted something with a great view. I wanted something with beautiful red volcanic soil. I wanted something with a southwest facing slope. I wanted great drainage. There's a lot of things that I learned over time that I thought would be key ingredients to a great vineyard. And of course, the view is not one of those, but to me, I know when I go taste wine, I sure like to be able to sit here and look. I'm sitting here staring at Dundee Hill and Ribbon Ridge behind your head right now while we're talking, right? So it's really a fantastic place, and it just happened to check all the other boxes. So the way I found that was I went to Rita Wolf, who most people know in the Valley. She's like the realtor for the wine country. And I said, "Rita, I want a place with a great tasting room. It's got to have a terrific view. It's got to have red volcanic soil for the vineyard. And I want to, southwest facing slope. I want it to bathe in sunlight all day, higher elevation to be nice, because Pinot Noir loves warm days and cool nights, and so does Chardonnay. And I was thinking that's what I really want to grow to be our primary sources of wine. And I want a nice production facility on the site that'll handle 4,000 to 5,000 cases of wine a year. That's as much as I want to make. I want to do ultra premium wines only, and I don't care if I'm in Costco or any of those places. So anyway, no offense, Costco. I hope if
No. You have a vision.
I shop there, but that's not what I'm shooting for.
Right.
So Rita dragged me around for a couple months, and we went to a bunch of places, and everyone was like, "No, Rita, I'd have to tear that down. No, the soil's wrong. No, this is a northeast facing vineyard. That's not what I want, and won't do what I want. No, this has a different kind of soil. I want that red volcanic soil for that beautiful cherry raspberry flavors that I get out of these Pinot Noirs that are grown in Jory and Somme soils." So anyway, she dragged me around for a couple months, and one day she calls me, and she's sitting right at where our driveway entrance is. There was a little turnout on the side of the road, and she had just listed this property, and it was owned by a family trust out of San Diego, and they hadn't been up here in years. And she calls me, and she starts yelling at me. She's going, "Dave, you're never going to be happy with anybody else's anything. You need to build your own. I got the perfect site for you to do it, but you're not going to be happy, and you're going to tear down these." And I was like, whoa, Rita, stop yelling at me. And she goes, "Oh, sorry." And I said, "Where are you?" And she tells me, "I just listed this property. It's right here." I said, "Good. I'm in Newburgh. I'll be up there in a few minutes." So I come up, and I pull up and park right behind her, and I get out. And I just look at the view up here. Okay, check that box. Right. And then I start walking around. I grab a handful of this just beautiful red volcanic soil that covers this site. And I go, checks that box. And I'm looking, okay, the sun rises all the way on the far side of the vineyard and just bathes it in sunlight all day. Sets on the other side. Said, southwest facing. It's really good. And I look at her and I go, "Rita, I hadn't really considered building my own place, but if I was, I'd do it here. This is amazing. But I would really need somebody who knows more than me. I've taken courses. I've been to UC Davis. I've studied wine for most of my adult life, but I've never planted a vineyard before. This is all new to me." And she goes, "Well, you met Jared at my party last week." She had a party. And I said, "Yeah." I shook his hand, said hi. I said, "I don't know him real well." She goes, "Well, here's his number. Call him." You got to know Rita to appreciate all this. She's very direct.
Yeah, and it was like a 2-year process or something between you and Rita, wasn't it?
No, it's just a few months.
Oh,
just a few months.
I thought it was a long time for some reason.
Okay. No, just a few months. And so I pick up the phone and I call Jared and I say, "Hi, Jared." This is Jared Etzel, who is now our winemaker. And I said, "Jared, this is Dave Jachter." And he goes, "Who?" I said, "Dave Jachter. I met you at Rita's party, the car guy." "Oh, yeah. And I go, "Hey, man, I'm about to make this huge investment.
Right.
And I know enough to be dangerous, but I don't know enough to be confident." And I said, Jared grew up on Beaufrere. He's got degrees in enology. He studied under some of the greatest winemakers we'll ever see. And he says, "Well, yeah, I'll come over." I said, "I'll buy you the best bottle of wine, man. Just come check it out with me." He goes, "I'll come over, check it out. Don't worry about the wine. I'll be over in a little while." And he pulls up and so Jared comes over, and you got to know Jared to appreciate Jared's, I think he's 35 at the time, 34 or 5, and 135 pounds soaking wet, rides his bicycle all over the place, is in great shape. And this is pretty steep side. And he gets out of his farm truck, which, the back window smashed and the sides pushed in, and it's a farm truck, right? Yep. He's got a shovel in his hand. And I go, "What are you going to do with that?" And he goes, "We're going to dig some holes," as he hands me the shovel. And it's the middle of July. It's 95 degrees out, and we start hiking up and down these hills at a very rapid rate. And I'm digging holes, and he's looking at the soil and checking stuff out. And after about an hour, he stops, turns around, looks at me, and I figured he thought I was going to have a heart attack, and he's feeling sorry for me. I'm dripping wet with sweat, trying to keep up with him. he turns around, he looks at me and he goes, "You need to buy this place and I'm going to be your winemaker." And I said, "Okay." He loved the site that much. He really wanted to be part of it, part of the project. And I did as well. So I called Rita and I said, "Done deal. Just sign me up." And we bought the property, and the rest of it's kind of history. But it was really a great experience, being able to start from scratch and knowing every inch of this property and making sure that there's never been a chemical of any kind dropped on this ground since the day we bought it. And quite frankly, before we bought it, the only thing that was on here was 15-foot tall mounds of blackberry bushes with a bunch of rodeo bulls running around between them, which for the no-bull guy I thought was pretty interesting. Yep. There was an old guy kind of squatting on the property and racing rodeo bulls who did his best job to tell me how grapes would never grow here, which is fascinating. And I shouldn't buy the property because he was, had this free range for his rodeo bulls.
And I think your neighbors were pretty happy that you bought the property because they no longer had bulls in their front yard.
Yeah, they tend to take these. He had these little wire fences up, and when the bulls wanted to get out, they just walked through them. And yeah, they were always trekking all over the place and messing up other people's property. So yeah, they were very happy, and he wasn't a great steward of either the bulls or the property. So it was a win-win. Yeah. So we hooked up with Results Partners at the time, and my son, who was getting ready to build his own RV park. That's kind of what they wanted to do. COVID had just hit, and everything shut down. Camping stopped. Everything was shut down, and the banks weren't wanting to lend money on that kind of thing and everything. So he comes cruising back through town with his 45-foot fifth wheel and parks it in my driveway, which is real interesting, having a 45-foot fifth wheel in your driveway.
I can imagine.
And I say, "Hey, come on, let me go show you this vineyard that I just bought." And he's like, "You did what?" I said, "I bought a vineyard." He goes, "Man, you've been wanting to do that your whole life. That's so cool." I said, "Come on, let's go check it out." So he and Kendra, his wife, my daughter-in-law, the three of us cruise up here, and we're hiking around the property, looking at it, and checking everything out, and there's an old farmhouse on the far side of the property, past the oak grove, and it's built in 1901. Windows knocked in, carpet just moldy. All the light fixtures actually had birds' nests in them.
Oh, wow.
Which was interesting. When you open the door, the sparrows would just, fly around your head. And I'm going, "Yeah, it's a tear down. We're just going to tear it down." He looks at me and goes, "Don't tear it down." I go, "What do you mean, don't tear it down?" He goes, "Don't tear it down." I said, "Why?" And he said, "Kendra and I want to fix it up and stay here." He goes, "We can't keep traveling around with this COVID thing going on and all that stuff." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, what are you going to do for a living?" He goes, "Well, you need someone to help with the farming, don't you?" I said, "Yeah." And so anyway, Aaron, who was a certified master technician at the Toyota store, and loves the outdoors and loves farming. He started working with RP and learning how to be a great farmer, basically. And now he's the vineyard manager, and that's the Jachter Family Wines. It was just Jachter Wines before they showed up.
Right.
And Kendra has worked, I think 4 harvests now, with Jared, and when we're building the production facility, I said, "Well, who are we going to have for an assistant winemaker? You're going to need to have one." He goes, "What, are you kidding?" I said, "No." He goes, "Kendra's the best assistant I've ever had, and it's your daughter-in-law." I said, "Okay." He goes, "Put her down here. I'd love to work with her." I'm like, "Hey, man, I'm not good with that. I'm great with that. That's awesome." And then the last really important hire before we ever opened up was Amber Sagnati, who was our sales and marketing director. And Amber, who'd worked, I think, 11 years at Alexana, she'd been at Domaine Serene, and she was at Ponzi for a couple of years, and then she was pretty high up in their organization. Then Bollinger came and bought Ponzi.
Right.
And she wasn't happy. They changed her job description, pay plans, and all that kind of stuff. And I had been bugging the heck out of Jillian Bradshaw, who is the sales manager basically at Beaufrere,
Right.
where we were making our wines with Mike Etzel and Jared over there, and I kept telling her, I need a U. I'm going to need a U. Our tasting room's going to be done, soon.
right.
I need someone just like you, Julie, because she's awesome. I don't know if you know her, AJ.
Yeah, I know her. I'm working with her on the Salud procurement committee.
Good. She's just an awesome lady. So, so I said, I want someone just like you. So last year before this, in 2022 wine symposium, she comes up and she kind of tugs on my sleeve, and Jillian enough to know, and she just looks at me and she goes, she's here. And I go, oh, hi, Jillian. Who's here? And she goes, the other me. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, come on, you need to meet her. So she introduced me to Amber. And I'd say I interviewed Amber, but I think she interviewed me for like 16 hours. We did like 4 or 5 interviews before, because to me, people is everything.
Right.
Whether it's the car business, the wine business, the most important thing you can do. And I was so fortunate to have Jared fall in my lap. Amber was very important in sales and marketing, because I have a certain level of customer satisfaction that I want to live up to no matter what I do. And gosh, this girl's really smart. She knows a ton about wine, and she's like the sweetest person I ever met. Okay, that's interview Amber. I want to meet the real. Right. So I kept setting up these interviews to see who. And turns out that is who she is. After working with her for 15, 16 months now, I'm going to say she truly is all those things and has done a wonderful job with our sales and marketing of Jachter Family Wines. Yeah. So we started making the wine in 19. That was our first vintage. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting too, because I think I mentioned it was the July of 19 when we bought this place.
Right.
So my plan was to build a tasting room. So I said, well, I'm going to need wine, and I can't wait for these vines to give me wine. So I looked at Jared and I said, hey man, we got to make some wine this year. So we'll start building up an inventory. And he goes, dude, it's July. You want to make wine for 19? I was like, yeah. He goes, where are you going to make it? Where are you going to find the fruit? I said, I'll make a deal with you. I said, you find me a place to make it. I'll find the fruit. So I started calling around, and I wanted to start using fruit that was really close to here. So I went over to Flanor and Jaime, who's their farming director. He's just an awesome guy and has really given us a lot of great advice over the years. He's like, well, let me check, but I think we got some fruit that we can sell you. And then I meet this gal who's right across the street down the road a little bit, and she was having a problem marketing her grapes because she was a baker. Her husband started this vineyard 7 years before he passed. She comes over and takes it up. She doesn't know what to do with it. And there were some people taking it, I thought, advantage of her. Paying her like half market for her grapes. And I said, tell you what, let me buy this big section of your, and I'll pay you full market price for it. And right. We shook hands, and then I met, that was for Pinot. Both those were Pinot Noir. And then I want to do Chardonnay as well, because I love Oregon Chardonnays, and which we're going to try a really good one here in just a minute. Yeah. And I shouldn't say that. We're going to try one in just a minute. That was a little braggadocious. But so Ken Austin had some wine in his Rain Dance Foothills vineyard, or some grapes, excuse me, in his Rain Dance Foothills vineyard that somebody else was going to buy, but they kept not signing the contract, right. And they kept going back. Come on, we got it. Anyway, it was a really great section, real nice rocky southwest facing slope of Chardonnay. And so eventually they called me and said, hey, we can't get these people to sign the contract. You want this? And drove over there and signed the contract that day. Very nice. Because Jared really wanted me to get that vineyard. He liked it a lot. And I liked it as well. And that's how we got started. In 19, we made our first first vintages, and they've come out pretty good, I'd say.
No, I've tasted 3 of your wines. They are they are spectacular.
Thanks. Yeah, we got our first vintage. We got all 93s, 4s, and 5s from all the critics, and I can't complain about that. So, that was a great way to start. We do minimal intervention in the winery, which is one of the reasons I really like working with Jared. We don't do, there's over 100 different additives that you can use in wines, and a lot of people want to have a consistent wine every year, and that's what they're really concerned with. And I don't. I want a wine that reflects what happened that year. To me, wine is a combination of time and place. I mean, every year is different from a time standpoint. Mother Nature throws all these different curveballs at you, and how you react to them in the farming is really critical to making great wine, because you can make good wine with good fruit, and you can make great wine with good fruit, but you can't make great wine with mediocre fruit. It can't happen. Right. So that's the foundation, as the fruit. So we use no chemical pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, nothing, which is a very time-consuming way to farm. It takes a lot more work in the vineyard. For instance, if you farm organically, you're going to spray probably 12 to 14 times during the season, as opposed to 3. Right. So it's really time consuming to do, and it's very difficult, but I'll never forget the course I took, and where they showed 2 vineyards, same AVA, they were in California, and one had been farmed they were both 10 years old. One had been farmed organically, one had been farmed commercially. Commercially meaning they use glyphosate, which everybody knows is Roundup, to kill all the weeds, and they use chemical fungicides, herbicides, all that kind of stuff. And the other one was farmed organically. Same clones. And when you looked at the vineyards, it was so apparent which one was healthy and vibrant and beautiful deep green colors, and the other one, it was growing, but it just didn't look happy. It didn't look healthy. And then they brought the wines in that course and tasted the wines. And to me, it's just like if you find really good organic fruit as opposed to fruit. Correct. It's not. It tastes better. Yeah. It just does. Yeah. And wines taste better when you use all that extra care and attention. Yeah. And especially Pinot Noir to me, because Pinot Noir is like this blank canvas that reflects what happens to it during the year. There's a lot of grapes that are so big and bold that doesn't happen. You get a little bit of differentiation, but with Pinot, like if we do a 19 and a 21, which we do in our tasting room, I'd love to pour them side by side for people. Exact same clones, same winemaker, same process, same everything, and they're completely different wines, both delicious, but one is that beautiful, cool, wet vintage we had in 19, and very traditional Oregon Pinot, as opposed to 21, which, do you recall the 115 degree heat and the vines shutting down, everybody freaking out, oh my God, what's going to happen? Turned out to be great wine, but it's very different. It's really fruit forward and bold, and I like both of them. And they're just different. They're just different.
And it's amazing to see just the, like you said, time and place, right? And you mentioned, just very briefly of 1975, right? You were just finishing your final exams, and a buddy and you headed to a fine restaurant and asked a waiter for a bottle of good wine. And
my first.
I'm sorry?
That was my first bottle of good wine.
Exactly. Yeah. And the waiter came back and said, how about a great red wine? And it ended up being a bottle of Château de Pop and
Château de Beaucastel. Yeah. I remember it very well. To that point, AJ, it's really funny. My wine experience was Boone's Farm apple wine and Matus Rosé. Broke college student, kind of pushing his way through school, and we had just finished finals, and I was like talking to my buddy, my roommate Pete, and I was like, let's splurge, man. Let's just get a really kick butt bottle of wine just for the hell of it. We got steaks at this really good restaurant, and that's when I made a great memory. Yeah, so I met the waiter, and he brought out this Château de Beaucastel, which at the time was like $22, and I was like, "Oh my God, $22 for okay, it's 1975."
Right.
Keep that in mind. That bottle today, who knows, 200 instead of 22. But I tasted it, and the light just went on. And I was like, oh my God, I've never tried anything like this. Is what it's. And then I bite a steak and a sip of that beautiful Rhone classic wine, and I was hooked. And that's when I started studying and learning about wine, and have been ever since.
Yeah. You and your wife, June of 18, you did like a Bordeaux Grand Cru tour, and that seemed like quite a little adventure. Yeah,
that was fun. Well, Karen and I have traveled all over the world basically, and sampled wines in Bordeaux, and the last one was Sicily, which I'm a big fan of Sicilian wines, and Nero Mescalese and Planeta and Benanti are two of my favorite winemakers down there, and they do just a fantastic job. And it's such an interesting geographical place, Sicily, with Mount Etna, which is still blowing. I saw pictures just the other day. Actually, it's pretty like real active right now.
Wow.
So we're sitting there tasting wine in Planeta's vineyard, and Mount Etna's steaming. I mean, it was so. To me, the reason I'm talking about it was such a great experience. I just love the food. I love the place. I love the Mount Etna. I love the views from their tasting. I'd say tasting room, but it was outdoor with a kind of a pergola kind of situation, and it was just a great experience. And then I looked in my wine cellar when I got back, and I didn't have any Sicilian wines, but I started looking at what wines do I have, and I looked, and they were all from vineyards where I'd had these really great experiences.
Right.
And I started realizing that great wines aren't just the wine. It's the experience of the brand. And that's what I've done my whole life, is build brands. And I wanted to build a brand that was very different. And where people had such a wonderful experience at our tasting room that they wanted to come back. So you came back.
Of course, yes, very much so.
And so that's why Amber was such a key find for us. And everybody in our tasting room is we interview a lot of people to hire one associate. And I want smart people, I want really nice people, and I want people who understand customer service. And I think we've done a pretty good job of finding all those right people. And we create a nice experience, and then we bring out these wines that Jared and I and Aaron have made, and Kendra, and I think they're pretty good too. And you have nice wines, and the critics have been really great and accepting, and it's just been a really great experience. So I'm hoping we can create an experience like the ones that I had, where every time I pick up that glass of wine, I'll remember when I was there. I'll remember the experience I had there, and I'll remember why I like the flavors of these wines so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shall we try your Chardonnay?
Let's try it.
Okay. And so we have. Do you want to tell us a little bit about?
Yeah, this is a 21 J Reserve. On the back label of the J Reserve, it's pretty funny. I wanted to call it Dave's Fave, because this is like my favorite wine, and
right.
I love a great Chardonnay. And but I got outvoted, and it's the J Reserve. So this is our 21 J Reserve.
Very nice.
Yeah, we just got 95 points on this wine. From 94, from Wine Spectator, 95 from Wine Advocate. So we're pretty proud of it, and I love the color. First thing I always look at is this beautiful golden yellow color in this wine, and then when I smell it, it reminds me of that vintage. It's that warm, hot kind of summer that brought all these flavors out in these grapes. And we dry farm too, so in a hot year, the flavors get really concentrated, and I think you might notice that, AJ, when you take a sip, it's fairly concentrated for a Chardonnay with these beautiful flavors. I think the acid balance is Jared just nailed it. It's to me, it's exactly what I was trying to accomplish with it, and it's one of the wines that has an unfortunate problem, and the unfortunate problem is when you start drinking it, it's very difficult to stop, especially when on a day like today where it's sunny and warm, and it's just a great summertime wine, and great in the wintertime too. But I really enjoy a glass of Chardonnay on a nice warm day like today.
I do too, and you speak about the color, and just in a typical fashion, to see that bright golden hue, you wouldn't think that it's a 3-year-old wine. You think it's a little bit older, and then you smell it on the nose, and there's all that fruit just waiting for you.
Right.
It is so.
I can't wait to taste this wine 10 years from now. I mean, honestly, this wine's going to age so well.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's our 21, the J Reserve Chardonnay. And now, as of 23 vintage, it'll all be estate grown. So we are going to have a bottling this year of our first estate vintages from Jachter Family Wines, and it's very, very exciting. It's a vineyard's an interesting endeavor because you can have two vineyards right next door to each other, and one will be great and the other one will be okay, but won't be great. And you're always hoping when you plant from the beginning, you want to do everything just right. It checks all the boxes, but you don't know till you know.
Yeah. So
it's real funny that when we were making this wine after it went through Malo and was in barrel, and we tasted through all the wines, and we made Chardonnay, Pinot, and Pinot Noir, and a little Nebbiolo as well. And I'll talk about that in a little bit, but Jared looked at me, or was it Aaron? I think Aaron looked at me and said, "Pops, you got a tear coming down your your cheek." He said, "What's going on?" I said, "This is our first vintage and it's good." Because you never know. And I was so anxious about it.
Yeah.
Years and tearing up the soil and pounding in the trellises and running all the wire and 35,000 vines in the ground and babying them from day one and going through the heat and the rain and just watching what happens, and now these babies have produced this beautiful fruit, and I'm very, very excited about our estate. We're very happy with it, how it's turned out. So 23 is going to be an interesting year. Now 24 is going to be another great year because our production facility right down the hill, in which we really spared no expense. I mean, we got giant cement tanks that we shipped up from Sonoma Cast in Sonoma, California, and steel tanks. We've got all the state-of-the-art equipment that we can possibly buy. And I just, as Jared and I were picking out the equipment, I was like, if it's going to make better wine, I want it. And fortunately, the car business allowed me to have the wherewithal to be able to do it this way. I know a lot of people start in their garage and end up with these great wineries and make terrific wine as well. I didn't have that option. I had to make enough money I could afford to do this, because it is very true. If you want to start with if you want to make a small fortune in the wine business, you got to start with a really big one.
Right.
So this gave us the opportunity when I sold the dealerships to do this and do it right, and that's how I wanted to do it from day one. So we got a great winemaker, we've got great facilities, I got great people in the tasting room, and the vineyard is every bit of what I expected it to be. So the future looks good for Jachter Family Wines. We're very excited.
I have to say I'm very excited as well.
Oh, thanks.
You talked about, Sicily and, all those wines. Was that kind of like the reason that you wanted to plant Nebbiolo?
Nebbiolo has been one of my favorite wines for years.
Okay.
Sicily didn't hurt, but Nebbiolo was more in Piedmont area up in which we've been to as well, and I love the wines up there. And Barolos and Barbarescos are two of my very favorite wines, and everybody told me I was nuts when I told them I was going to plant Barolo. I just did 3/4 of an acre.
Right.
You'll make, I don't know, 100 cases maybe, just to make myself happy and prove that we could do it in Oregon. And I'll tell you, with the summers we've had the last few years, it's been great. 23 was our first estate vintage, and the Nebbiolo, I'm telling you right now, is going to be a hit. It's delicious. It ripened well. That's what you worry about with a warm weather vine like Nebbiolo, is that it won't ripen, and it ripened beautifully. And of course, last year was a very warm summer, and that's why. In the cool summers, if it doesn't ripen all the way, it'll be an opportunity for us to make a rosé of Nebbiolo, which is very unusual and should be a delicious wine as well. So, yeah.
That would be great. And you're doing some Pinot Meunier as well, right?
We have Pinot Meunier. We have a block of Pinot Meunier. The goal is eventually to do a sparkling program. Doing a still program is a lot more than I ever thought it would be. So we're getting that right, dialed in 100%, but we're going to do a sparkling program as well. But in the meantime, this year, we took half Pinot Meunier and half Wädenswil clone of Pinot Noir, which is a very kind of bright, light, bright kind of Pinot Noir that I thought blended well with the Pinot Meunier, and we made a white Pinot that also I'm very excited about, and is tasting delicious in barrel. So, wow. So we're doing all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out in the years to come.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, me neither.
Family, right? I mean,
right.
So fortunate to have so much family here on site helping you out.
It's such a gift.
Yeah.
I mean, to be able to do this with my son and daughter-in-law is just, it's hard to express, but it's so much more gratifying,
right?
To see them. Aaron is a farming freak now. I mean, he's always watching videos, reading books, doing something, learning about farming. We have a deal. We now use Atlas Vineyard Management, who are just great guys and works really well for an operation like us, because we had this vision of doing most of the farming ourselves, but having a consulting company and a company that could supply the labor when we need it for harvest, for doing things like we're doing today, like raising the wires where you need more than a couple people to do it, and to train Aaron at the same time. And they have really done a great job of doing that. They work hand in hand with their viticulturists, and he is now the vineyard manager and doing a tremendous job of it, and has really latched onto the whole organic, biodynamic kind of farming that we are doing.
Right.
And it's enriched my life having them here.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I feel very fortunate. Yeah.
One of my very first interviews was with Andy Lytle.
Yeah.
And, he talked about legacy, and, setting this, everything that he's doing, for his kids and everything. And I cherished and I wish I could see 30 years down the road and what kind of legacy do I want to leave? And and when I look at your story, it almost seems like, yes, you're creating this legacy, but it just kind of magically just happened.
It was very serendipitous, for lack of a better word, but things just the whole, Jared, running into him at a party, having Rita suggest that I call him, and Jared, for those of you who don't, he's one of the absolute best winemakers on the West Coast, if not in the country, and to have that just kind of fall in my lap, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to work with him. And Jared's also a great teacher. He'll take the time and explain everything, and it's really helped me understand the whole practical side of winemaking, as opposed to what you learn in the classroom, which is very, very different.
Yeah.
Amber, again, serendipitous. Aaron and Kendra, COVID, RV park, all of a sudden they're back here and thinking, that looks pretty cool what Pops is doing. I wonder if he'll let us join in,
Right.
Let him. I was thrilled. It's funny how it all just kind of fit into place as we were going along. It's like this was really meant to be. And legacy is a great word, because one of the reasons you do this is this will never be very profitable in my lifetime. I made my profits elsewhere. But it's a way that I think future generations of our family can make a really wonderful living in an industry that, I got to say, the people I've met in this industry have been so open and forthcoming. It's a joy to work with the other people in the Valley who have been. They're just. I think everybody recognizes that a rising tide raises all ships,
right.
And they want us to do better, and we want them to do better, and everybody's open with their information and what they do. I was mentioning Jaime across the street. If we ever had a question on starting a vineyard, here's a guy who planted Argyle, planted Stoller. He's like the farmer in the Valley, and we just sit out in the barn in his place for 2-3 hours sometimes, just talking about farming and what the best way to do and what the best clones are from a farmer's standpoint, which is very interesting, because everything from the farmer's standpoint is a little different than from the winemaker's standpoint. That's where the owner comes in to kind of mediate between the two. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
That is cool.
Yeah, and the people are, like I say, the people in the wine industry really make the wine industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just another small example of serendipity.
Right.
You were in Texas. Mm-hmm. You were on the road, and you're planning to go, on vacation. Karen calls you up and says, "Hey, I got a FedEx package."
Did I tell you that story?
No, you didn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So there's a FedEx package,
yeah.
And you ask Karen, what's in it?
Yeah.
And you open it up, and it's plane tickets to Oregon.
Yeah.
And that's Bob bringing you up, for the car stuff. But I'm curious, I don't care about the car stuff, but where were you going on vacation?
We were going to SeaWorld in San Antonio. Okay. So I met Bob Lamphere at the National Auto Dealers Convention. Bob Sr. and Jr. were there, and a guy named John Hawkins, who was their COO at the time. And I was doing consulting with car dealerships, and we had a drink at the Mandarin Hotel and sat down and started talking, and we really hit it off really well. And John Hawkins, who had run a big organization in Florida, we had best practice groups in the car industry, and we'd share, with these guys from other parts of the country, things that we were doing. They'd share with us what they were doing. And John was in a group with the guy who owned the dealerships that I worked for at the time. And when I mentioned that I'd worked for him, he was like, "Oh my God, you worked for Bill?" I was like, "Yeah, I worked for Bill Gilland." And he's like, "Those are like the best run dealerships in the country. All their numbers are just like stellar." And I go,
"Right.
Well, yeah, I really helped drive those a lot. And because I'd go fix all their broken stores. Bill had a number of stores, and when there was one that was underperforming, they'd bring me in, which caused a lot of travel and a lot of stress on the family, but we'd fix them. So I met them at this convention. We're talking, and he goes, "Why don't you come up to Oregon?" I go, "Man, I got the whole middle of the country as my territory." I go, "If you really want me to come up, you can call our owner, Bob Moore, and if he says go, if he tells me go, I'm going." So
right.
I gave him his number and stuff. He called. Bob calls me, Bob Moore, says, you need to go up to Oregon and see these guys. They got a bunch of stores, and and we'd like to have them as clients. So I was like, all right. So I came up, and I did a study here, and they really liked what I had to say and everything. And I had all these notes after a week up here from all their stores. And I was like, "When you do this," and I had all these different approaches that I thought they should take. And Bob Sr. looks at me and goes, "Well, when you want to come up here and do this?" I go, "No, you don't understand. I did the retail thing. Now I'm doing consulting. Got a Gold American Express card. I got weekends off. We closed down from Christmas to New Year's. I don't have the retail world deal with that. Thank you, but no thank you. And then so John Hawkins, the COO, he just kept calling me. Say, hey, Dave, there's an opportunity. I was like, yeah, I appreciate it. No, thank you. And one day he calls and I said, hey, and don't call me for a while. I go, on the 15th, I'm taking my family. We're going to SeaWorld in San Diego. We're going on vacation. And so I'll be out of touch for a while.
Right.
So the next day I fly into Lubbock, Texas, where we had, I was working in Lubbock, and I call from the hotel. I call home every night. Hi, honey, how you doing? She goes, hey, you got a FedEx here from Beaverton, Oregon. I go, oh, really? And she goes, you want me to open it? I say, yeah, open it up, see what's inside. She goes, there's 4 round-trip tickets to Portland, Oregon. I said, really? And she goes, I said, is there a note or anything? She goes, yeah. She goes, if you're going to take your family on vacation, you might as well bring them up to Oregon. It's beautiful here this time of year. John Hawkins. So that was, and so I just started laughing. I go, oh, this guy's really trying to hire me up there. Da, 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 da. And she goes, well, I've heard Oregon's really beautiful. and the kids are in the background going, ooh, Oregon, trees and mountains. And we're in Texas at the time,
right,
where it's flat.
It sounds like you're getting outvoted really quickly.
Yeah, so I'm like, you guys really want to go? And they said, yeah. So we canceled our trip to San Antonio, and here we are flying up to Portland, Oregon, and it was in April. And you know how we have those Chamber of Commerce weeks every so often in the springtime. Well, this was it. It was 65 and sunny every day. We go down the coast, Mount Hood, and Bob's laying shots on me the whole time. Bob Jr., Bob Sr., and John Hawkins. I was like surrounded. And we got to dinner at the Chart House one night, and they're like, we need you to come up here. And they made me an offer. And I said, well, that's a great offer, but I know how it works. I'll move my whole family up here. And it was a percentage of the profits of the stores. And I said, then you'll cut the percentage. And Bob Sr., we're in the car at this time, heading back. And he turns around, he looks at me, he goes, you must think I'm a stupid man. And I said, no, sir, I didn't mean to come. Why did you say that? And he goes, well, if I'm paying you a small percentage of the profits and I get the rest and you start doing really good, how am I going to be doing? Because I'll never cut your pay. And he didn't. And I signed right there and moved up to Oregon, and the rest is kind of history. We did great at all the Beaverton stores, and then Wilsonville Toyota. I kept Bob Sr. and Jr. as my partners, and Toyota and Subaru. And it was a good relationship.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
I've got some rapid fire questions.
Go for it.
And then we'll reveal the blind wine.
Perfect.
So normally I ask this, for people that are doing harvest. Maybe, I don't know if you help out during harvest, but what music is playing? Like, what do you listen to during harvest?
Well, we've been doing harvest over at Sequitur and Beaufrere up until now. So Colin, who is kind of everybody's go-to guy over at Sequitur, picks the music.
Okay.
And it's I got to say, 60s and 70s rock is basically it, and I don't think that's going to change much.
That's awesome.
When we come. And he mixes it with some new stuff too, Colin does. If I'm picking the music, it's going to be classic rock.
Classic rock, okay.
Yeah.
So
I just love classic rock during harvest. It just fits.
If you could pick an artist or a song.
Oh, I love John Prine music.
Okay.
Let's see, an artist or a song that goes with harvest. Man, there's just so many. Joe Walsh, I like a ton. Are you looking for a particular song?
That's enough.
Okay.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh, John Prine, a little Grateful Dead in there. I think that would make for a good harvest day.
That would be perfect. Yes.
Yeah.
Your favorite indulgent food?
Oh my God, this is terrible, but I'm going to say it anyway. Grilled cheese with New Mexico green chili on it.
Oh. That is amazing.
There you go.
If you could choose a superpower, what would it be?
A superpower. Making only 100-point wines.
Perfect. Last book you read. It could also be a podcast or like an audio book or something.
Oh gosh, I listened to a ton of podcasts. The last book I read was Liz Cheney's book, Oath of Honor, I think, is the name of it, and it's really a fantastic look inside our government during a really critical time. It took me a little while to get to it, but I just finished it last week.
Wow, I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, it's a great book. It's a great book. She's an American hero, by the way. Anyway, that's my own personal opinion.
Yes. All right. Do you want to take any sort of stab at this, or are you just like?
Let me focus for a second.
Okay. So, do you think it's an Oregon wine?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a Beaufrère.
Okay. Do you want to take a stab at anything on the year or anything of that nature?
It's
It's okay. You don't have to. I mean,
no. I'm going to. I'm gonna go 19.
Okay. Well, it's a 2018
Domaine Roy.
Domaine Roy,
Son of Beaufrère.
son of Beaufrère.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Iron Filbert. Yep.
Yep.
I should. Well, Jared's going to be pissed at me.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I've had any. I've had one person that was super close. Got like the year,
Yeah.
and like the vineyard was.
Doing that, 18 versus 19. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it had some age on it, a little bit, not a lot. But I thought it was a little cooler year, and 18 was a warmer year. Anyway.
Yeah. It's blind tasting is very humbling. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Thanks for embarrassing me like that, AJ. I appreciate it.
I'm glad I could do that. All right. Well,
That's funny.
I don't have any other questions or anything.
Well, thanks for coming out. It was enjoyable. 45 minutes, hour, whatever we did.
Yeah. No, that was great.
Yeah,
I really
thanks.
appreciate your time.
All righty.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on this flavorful voyage through the world of wine on the Weinnotes Podcast. I've been your host and guide, AJ Etzel, and it's been an absolute pleasure sharing these captivating stories with you. But alas, like the last sip of a fine vintage, our time together must end. But don't fret, my wine-loving friend. The cellar doors of the Weinnotes Podcast will always remain open, waiting for you to return and explore new conversations, stories, and musings from the captivating people behind the magical world of wine. Before you go, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, and don't forget to leave a sparkling 5-star review to help spread the word. Until our glasses clink again, remember to savor life's moments and let the spirit of wine and camaraderie linger on your palate. Cheers, and as always, may your wine glass be full, your heart be light, and your journey be delight.